but my closure was letting go. When you don't love yourself, you are teaching others how to not love you. I'm tired. I'm doing all of this for a person who don't even care about me. And being you comes with disappointing a lot of people. When you trust in God, you know that no matter where you are in your life, what you're going through in your life, you are going to be okay. Hi Nia babies, it's your girl Nia, and I'm back with another video. I told you guys on my Instagram that I will be doing girl talk videos, but I wanted to do a video for everybody because I know that I do have like a little bit of men, or boys I should say, who watch my videos. So this video is honestly just for everybody. It's a talk for anybody. Anybody can take anything from it. And yeah, let's just get into these girl talk questions, because why not? So like I said, I asked you guys on my Instagram. Make sure you guys go follow me on there, where there's updates about like my posting and all of that, behind the scenes and all of that just. But yeah, I asked you guys on Instagram and I only got one question, which is absolutely fine because I actually found the rest of my questions on Twitter. You guys can also follow me on there as well. I have never been a Twitter girl, but maybe because a lot of my favorite content creators have Twitter and I just love seeing their like behind the scenes. But I've been on Twitter a little bit here and there. Twitter really came through with the girl talk question. Someone said, how do you manage to identify and avoid toxicity? I think I said that right. So I manage to avoid toxic people or just things in general, or like how do I know when something is toxic or anything like that. First, I know when something is toxic when I know that it's really draining for me, and I find myself slowly like making excuses as to why I don't want to hang out with that person, or like why I don't want to do that specific thing. And I find myself like, of course you're gonna be in situations in your life where you have to hop out of your comfort zone, but I find myself like forcing myself to do something that I'm not comfortable with. Sorry for the screaming, y'all, my neighbors is something else. I find myself just forcing myself, like overly forcing myself to do something that I'm not comfortable with, and that's when I realize things can get super toxic. Or like, I am an overthinker, so anytime a situation occurs, I'm always like blaming myself, and that probably isn't just with my overthinking. That's probably just like, what is the outcome from me going through certain stuff in my life and always being blamed for it and stuff like that. A lot of the times I blame myself, and I feel like that's another thing that I can pick up on when I realize like something is toxic or someone is toxic, is when I'm always like questioning who I am and my worth and how they make me feel. Because if that person is treating me wrong and like saying harsh things and saying harsh words, it's reflecting on my confidence. Like, I can see that that person is just not like a good person to be around. And this can be with friendships, relationships, it can honestly be with literally anything. So that's when I realized something is like toxic. It's so many like little red flags that I can pick up on, that like I can say like, okay, this person is just not the person for me. And maybe it's not even like just toxic, but just not the person like that I need to be around, or this is not something that I need to do. Those are a couple for me. And then how I avoid that is honestly coming into terms with myself that this person or this thing that I'm forcing myself to do is just not meant for me. We all have those moments in life where it's so hard to let things go, but you know what you need to do. It's just, instead of listening to what you need to do, you're listening to what you think is, wait, how do I say this? I think y'all know what I'm saying. Like, you know what you need to do, but you know your heart and mind is telling you two different things, and it's kind of hard to like act on that. At the end of the day, you need to know that you rather want to go through the pain of losing that person, taking time to heal and think on that or that thing, or keep having to go through the same process over and over with that person and not even being able to heal and prosper and grow. And it's kind of just sitting yourself down and just being real with yourself and letting yourself know like, hey, if I keep putting up with this isn't going anywhere. This is not benefiting me or my future. And it's really about being selfish with that aspect. Like, you have to be selfish with your energy, you have to be selfish with your love, because a lot of people do not deserve it. it. And whenever you give that love and genuine support and energy to people and they treat it as if it's nothing, then that's when you realize you need to take a step back and you just need to be real with yourself. Honestly, like, you gotta be straight up, straightforward. How do you manage being in a relationship and keeping God first? So I love this question because for me it's so important. We all know that once we get into a healthy relationship, we're just butterflies and happiness, and we kind of lose sight on others around us because we're just super duper happy. And trust me, I've been there. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 2 years and 2 years and 8 months, and it's about to be 3 months, and I mean 3 months, it's about to be 3 years. Sometimes I still find myself getting in that loop where I'm focusing too much on him instead of what I need to do for myself and for my life. I think what really helps is having a partner who understands that you need to give as much as you put out for others, for yourself, but even more. My partner has always helped me take time to love myself and care for myself, and for me that's so important because when I first met him, I didn't love myself, I didn't care for myself, but having a partner who has walked me through that, who has taught me that, it makes me value myself more and it makes me know my self-worth. So I think that's another like really big thing, is having a partner that understands like you have to do what you need to do for yourself, even if that means taking some space for each other, so that way you guys can both build whatever connection you need with yourself, with God, and just better yourself as individuals for the relationship and for yourself. Another thing is God is number one. Like, God is number one, and it took me a long time to realize that like God is number one. So I used to always be like, my mom come first no matter what, and I still feel that way, but my mom doesn't come before God, my boyfriend doesn't come before God, nobody comes before God, you know. And I love those people so much. They number one, they right there, they us out. But it's also God who is above all. You really need to understand that the things that you love the most, God has blessed you with, so you need to honor him because of that. And you need to make sure that you are spending time with him. You need to make sure that you are loving him, because that's the only way that you're truly going to grab the word, the wisdom, the honor of God, is learning about who he is and why he does what he does. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're going to grow in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. That's the only way you're going to get to know him and grow as a Christian and a firm believer, is by knowing him, studying him, loving him, putting him first, and just being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And with that being said, I feel like I just think what really helps me is that I had a partner who is all about Christ. So with that, we build our foundation together, and he lets me know when I'm slacking, I let him know when he's slacking, and whenever we're slacking on Christ, we take that time to get back on it, whether it's together or whether it's separate. It's kind of just having those boundaries and letting yourself know like, I have to stay focused no matter what, because a relationship shouldn't be a distraction. It should be all about growth and building a wonderful life together. You should never be distracted in a relationship. I know it happens, I know it does, but just always stay focused and try to not let that distraction last for so long. Once you realize that you are distracted, and once you realize that you have put so much, that you have gave so less for your needs, then that's when you need to have a step back with yourself, be real with yourself, and let yourself know, okay, God has blessed me with this wonderful man in my life, but I am not spending time with. So that means I need to take a break from my loved one and really form my relationship back with Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about those boundaries and really building that foundation together. And what's your favorite form of self-care? So my favorite form of self-care is many things. I have some self-care that helps with my physical health or my mental health, but for both of those aspects, I love to read. I love to read Christian books. I love to read my Bible. I love to read like mysterious books, high school lover books. Sometimes they can be a little bit cringy. I'm kind of easing out of those because like I feel like I'm just getting older and more mature, and I'm like, okay, I need something exciting, romance, spicy. Like I need something a little bit realistic. I love to go on walks really ease my mind. They just help me feel more peaceful. They help me connect with God too. When you have the Holy Spirit, you appreciate things so much more than you have ever appreciated in your life. And for me, I started to appreciate earth more. I started to appreciate the smallest things. So being in an environment, whether it's outside or inside, and I see like the trees, greenery, or like gardens, and just being outside, I should just say, that is a form of self-care for me. It really helps me. Also, writing letters to God. I try to do that like every single morning when I spend time with him, but you know, some days it be slacking just a little bit. But yeah, I love writing letters to him. Even if I'm writing the same thing, like I just love having that quality bond with him, because it just makes me bond with him more and connect with him more in a whole different level. Now, like for my physical appearance, I love a good shower, a good wash day, and I'm really a simple girl, so I like getting my eyebrows done or like doing like face masks. I love spending time with family. Like I just really like quality time a lot. So yeah, that's a little bit like of my form of self-care. Something little, not too much, but it really warms my heart and I love it so much. How do you recover from a very bad heartbreak, and what's the best thing it taught you? My first heartbreak besides my father was my very first boyfriend I had in high school. He did leave me for someone else. He broke up with me twice and he went back to his ex and stuff like that. And for me, it really hurted mainly because I always thought that she was always prettier than me. I was told by one of my family members, my stepdad at the time, that she was prettier than me because she was a foreign girl and I am a black girl, and those was his exact words. I had people in school instigating and saying that he was gonna leave me for someone like her. Like and I think what made it worse at that time is because I did not love myself. I always thought I was ugly. I walked around with an attitude because I was hurt, so I was trying to hurt other people, and I just did not have the confidence that I do today. And at that time, I remember just not even wanting to talk. I did not eat. I could barely sleep. I was always crying and I was always just so angry. I got into fights after that and my life felt like it was all like coming down. And even then, I was not close to God either. So I just remember praying all the time and telling God, like, just take me now, or like I don't want to be here, and just saying like I'm never gonna get over this. I watch heartbreak videos of like girls like just talking about like their heartbreak and what they're going through. It helped for some bit, but then it just got more harder and harder each and every day, especially with him still trying to contact me and stuff like that. And then one day I was at work, and this is like after spending all that time crying, texting him and trying to get back at him, even though like the answer was clear. He did not want me, you know. I told myself I'm tired. I literally told myself like I'm just so tired of wasting my time feeling so ugly, worthless, and comparing myself to this beautiful girl that he's with and that he left me for, questioning my worth and just being so sad, not hanging out with my family no more, not eating this and this and that. I'm tired. I'm doing all of this for a person who don't even care about me. Don't care about me at all. And after that, I literally just started doing me. I started getting ready. I started to be happier. I stopped checking her page, and eventually that's when God sent me my boyfriend that I am with today. And I think that was like 6 or 7 months after. All I can really say is time. Like, you have to give yourself that time to heal and to feel each and every emotion, even though you don't want to. Like, let's be honest, we all never want to feel that emotion. I would never wish heartbreak on anybody, but you have to be willing to feel that emotion in order to grow and to get through what you're going through. You have to, because if you're just running away from that emotion, if you're just running away from facing the truth and the reality, knowing that it is done, then you will never be able to get over it. And that's another thing, is a lot of people ask for closure. I used to always be like, I wish I can get closure from him. that he can tell me why he did it, that he know that he's wrong. But my closure was letting go. My closure was knowing that I passed this. With or without him, I passed this. I didn't need him to tell me why he did it. Like, the answer was right there. He did it because that was a choice of his, and that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with how I look. That has nothing to do with how I act. That was just somebody he was attracted to. That's somebody that he chose, and I didn't need an answer as to why he did not choose me. I needed to know that I was gonna be good regardless. I needed to know that my closure was letting go and moving on for me. How do you stay calm, collected, and happy in a chaotic world full of people with different upbringings, beliefs, and opinions? I feel like this was such a good question, but let's be honest. Whenever we hear somebody who has like a different opinion or belief, whether it's, for instance, pro-life or pro-choice, or blue lives versus black lives matter, we get very upset. And even to this day, I get upset because I'm just like, how could you tell a woman her choice or her rights? How could you sit here and say this life matter when that life even isn't in danger? How could you feel this way? How could you feel this way? But as I get older and I realize, and this is something that I'm still working on to this day, I cannot no longer be upset for how everyone else feels except for how I feel. I cannot, granted, you know, you want to hold that against them forever and you want to say like, ooh, well, you feel like this, you feel like this, but at the same time, I can't hold that against anybody. I look at old videos and how I would talk and how I would feel, and I don't even feel like that anymore. So people grow and people change. People can grow out of being ignorant, and people can become knowledgeable. People can become educated, respectful, and people can apologize. As long as they're not being disrespectful, I try not to hold it against them. I try to stay calm because that's the best way that I can react out of anger, because that's not even just for their sanity, because it's like, who really cares? But it's more so for my sanity and for my sake. I can't stress myself out because another person believes this way or think this way. The only mind and opinion I can control is myself. But I cannot do that for other people. How do you know what you are currently doing with your life is what you're supposed to do? You don't know. You don't know what you're doing in your life is what you're supposed to be doing. But you trust in God. That's the beauty about being a firm believer, is when you trust in God, you know that no matter where you are in your life, what you're going through in your life, you are going to be okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to switch locations. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't know what is meant for you. You just have to simply trust in God and trust in his will, that your path is a beautiful path that is meant for you. I can sit here and say I want to be a vlogger for a life, but God is probably saying, okay, yeah, vlogger seems good, but I have something greater for you. I have something greater for you. It's been times in my life where I felt like I was supposed to be doing this, but God has shown me something that was better. And that's even like with me going to school. I remember in that one video me telling you guys like why I left Oakland University, and I said like, I don't want to go to school. I feel like, you know, YouTube is gonna do something for me. And then I sat down and I realized, and I was like, I do want to go back to school because maybe I can get some sort of thing out of that, and God showed me that. So you're never going to know what you're doing is meant for you until you trust in the Lord, physically, mentally, spiritually. Trust in him and speak to him and allow him to guide you. And that comes with patience, that comes with listening, and that comes with being obedient, because you can listen to God, but if you're not listening with your ears and your actions, then it goes in one ear and out the other, you know what I'm saying? So you're never going to really know what is meant for you until you trust in God in the path that he has for you, because he will reassure you what is meant for you every step of the way. Trust and believe, he will. But last question, because I know this was like a little bit short, which I'm sorry for, but it's okay because we got a vlog coming, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, the last question is how to stop worrying about disappointing people and doing what's best for you. I had to write this question not only for you guys but also for myself, because I am such like a people pleaser. It makes me upset that I say that, because it's like, girl, tighten up. At this point, you about to be 20 years old next year. Tighten up. But all my life I have been a people pleaser, and I think it just comes from not feeling good enough. So you want to feel good enough, and you want everyone to be proud of you. You want everyone to love you and to look at you as if you're special. But you have to realize you have to be willing to be the first person to love yourself, to tell yourself that you are enough, and to look at yourself like you are special and you are important. When you don't love yourself, you are teaching others how to not love you. But when you love yourself, you are teaching others how to love. And you have to make yourself proud and make God proud before anybody. And that is what I am currently working on. You have to stop, and again, I'm speaking to myself when I say this, but you have to stop worrying about everyone else's feelings at some point and worry about yourself. At some point in your life, you have to be selfish. At some point, you have to set that boundary at some point, because when you are catered to how everybody feels, especially when you're like in the entertainment field, or when you're just a person who's filled with a lot of people, different personalities, different emotions, when you are catered to all those feelings and emotions, you're going to get overwhelmed, you're going to question yourself, you're going to feel unworthy, and you're going to hate who you are. You have to stop being so scared to disappoint people off of things that make you happy or give you peace, because in reality you're disappointing yourself with not fulfilling that successful purpose in your life. A lot of the things that I held back in life because I didn't want anybody else to feel some type of way, and if I didn't hold back that thing in my life, that thing would lead another step to success in my life, because I was truly being me. I was truly being selfish at that moment because I chose me, just like what Kendrick Lamar said, he chose himself. So like, you have to be willing to choose yourself and love yourself every step of the way. Like, I'm telling y'all, it is so hard to really sit down and tell myself like, okay Tania, you have to be selfish at this point. You have to be willing to care about your feelings over theirs, because a lot of the time we spend so much time caring about other feelings that, for one, we forget about our own feelings, and for two, 9 times out of 10 that person would not do the same for you. They just wouldn't. You have to care about how you feel and stop worrying about how others feel. Stop worrying about disappointing people. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they're your parent, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. It doesn't matter. You have to be willing to be you, and being you comes with disappointing a lot of people. You see a lot of people on the internet who speak up about whether it's racism, whether it's for the LBG, hold on now, because I'm not about to disrespect y'all like that, LBGTQ community. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Whether it's disrespecting that community, whether it's disrespecting the black community, regardless, you have people that are preaching about that have lost so many supporters because those supporters were disappointed. But at the end of the day, they were staying true to themselves, and that feels good. You know what I'm saying? It's like a reward. It is. It truly is. Because not only does that take courage, but it takes bravery to be honest, whether it's in a room full of people, whether it's by yourself, whether it's you sitting on live with thousands of people. It takes courage to be honest, because not a lot of people can do it. But when you're honest, when you're yourself, you're going to disappoint people. That's just how life goes. A lot of people can't take the heat, the honesty, the truth. A lot of people cannot take it, and instead of blaming themselves, they blame you, so that's easier for them. So they take it as disappointment. Wow, I'm really disappointed in you, bro. Why would you do that? Do what? Stand up for what's right? Being myself? Me and you, all of us, have to make sure that we are staying true to ourselves, regardless of how disappointed people can be. Alright guys, so thank you so much for clicking on this video, just chatting with me and spending nice quality time with me. I'm so thankful, and I love you guys tremendously. Kisses, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys comment some things down below, how you felt about this video's topics and your opinions on them. I would love to chat with you guys, and again, my social medias are down below just in case you guys need a hug or reminder, some love. Regardless what it is, I'm here and I would love to help you guys. So make sure you guys text me if you need anything, and I love you dearly. Be safe and God bless you all. Bye.